Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and today you join me on ACC once again for a race that happened a couple of weeks ago in the SimGrid Super Sprint Series, round 1 at Brands Hatch. The way this championship works, 15-minute quali, 1 hour race, and then in race 2 the top 10 of race 1 get reversed, and the rest of the grid stays the same. Now in race 1, I was teamed up with Eamon Murphy for both races. We had a shunt and we finished last, so hence why we're starting at the back of the grid for this race, and we're on the rolling lap, just about to start the race. Very hard to overtake at Brands on ACC, and or is it? Let's find out. So going down into turn 1, we've made 2 positions up pretty much instantaneously, just by braking a bit later, and another one on the inside there, just out braking them on the inside. So we've gained 3 positions before turn 2, up to 30th place. We're going to opt to go around the outside of turn 2 because it does bottleneck on the inside a little bit. So carry a bit more speed and gain a couple of positions there, using all the track on the exit just to avoid cars. And then here, that Aston Martin had a half spinner, he might have got taken out. We gain 3 more positions there. Going up, well, on the exit of Graham Hill Bend then, we're 26th, something like that. I mean, it's a crazy start. 25th, I mean, what the hell. And then we're behind this Bentley. More stuff is going to kick off in this opening lap, it always does. I love these big grids on ACC because, to be honest, this is the first time I've actually come through from the back on this game, so it was so much fun. Cars firing off in every direction there, and we gained a couple of more positions down the inside then of this Mercedes. So another move done there, and we're almost getting into the top 20 now at the end of lap 1. So behind this Bentley, another car's gone off in front of us there. Just carnage, absolute carnage. And if you, so we did gain a position on him. Round the outside of the Bentley into turn 1, but we're going to try and do a cutback. A car, McLaren there on the left-hand side, and the gravel's gone off, so it's another position. Now we're 22nd, going down the inside of the Bentley into turn 2, 21st, and we're only on lap 2. And it's an hour race, remember, so there's a lot of time to make more positions. So if you look at the grid on the left-hand side, I mean, some of these names, the top drivers on ACC, like, look, Van Ommen's on there, Bischoff, Savalainen, the list goes on, and as you get towards the top 10, some really big names. So it's a good grid, it's a stacked grid. Down the inside then of Savalainen going into turn 1, he wasn't fighting too hard, to be fair. And the car, the setup was just crap on this day around Brands, and to be honest, at that Bentley there, making contact with Savalainen almost took us out in the process, so I had to kind of get off the brakes to avoid that. I just woke up in a mood where I was up for it, you know. Some days you wake up for it and you can't be arsed or whatever, and that, you know, that should be a rarity, but sometimes that is the case. But today, on this day, I was just up for it. Down the inside then of that McLaren, that was the only questionable move I made. It wasn't a clear-cut penalty in my head, but I can see why I did get a penalty for it. I got a 5-second penalty for that down the line, so understandable. You can see there that McLaren gets shunted off by the Aston, I think. So it's another position gained. Behind this Bentley then, Mad Max, which is on the back of his livery. We kind of make him go deep in the braking zone to get a bit of a switchback on the exit, and we do that successfully. McLaren around here has got good straight line speed, it's got good BOP, to be fair. It's one of the best cars, if not the best car at this current point in time. So that Aston kind of went a little bit deep, and on the exit got his wheels on the grass. We're going to go up the inside, he's not fighting too hard, into turn 1, and that's P16, and I think we're on lap 4. So there's a train ahead, so we're trying to catch the train ahead, and because it is quite easy to catch trains, you know, because they do end up slowing each other up, yeah, by defending a little bit here and there, and someone goes for a move, they're not too hard to catch up if you're in clear air, and we were. So a couple of laps later, we're on the back of this train, and there's a few McLarens ahead, Porsche, Bentley. The front 3 were kind of getting away, which was a bit of a shame. But, I mean, come on, we started 33rd. There was no way. Me and Murphy, my teammate, actually said before the race a top 15 would be a miracle. So, you know, we're already well on course for that, if not a top 5, maybe a podium. So we've got a good tow then down this straight, going down the outside of this. Did we make contact there? It looked like it, but it might have been netcode. We do get the switchback on the McLaren on the exit, and P15 then, and I think a couple of cars ahead. So, sorry, the McLaren behind that we just overtook and the Bentley in front of us now, both had a 5-second penalty. That's a replay glitch. It should say 5 seconds. So the Bentley there, I didn't know if he outbraked himself or let us go. But I do remember on the lap before he did exactly the same thing. So I don't know, yeah, he might have let us go. You can see there on the left-hand side our name, we've just picked up a penalty. It says 0 seconds again. It's a 5-second penalty for the move we made on the McLaren at Sterling's corner a few laps ago. So regardless of that, P14, 5 seconds, it will be served in the pit stop when we hand it over to Murphy. So it's not the end of the world, you know. I mean, 5 seconds when you're in a train like this will drop you a few positions, don't get me wrong, but you can clearly see the pace we have is insane. And down the inside of Surtees' really late move, yeah, I was pretty proud of that one, not going to lie. So that's P13, and that was Mr. Van Ommen as well. He didn't defend, but at the same time, it was from a little bit of a way back. So, yeah, big fan of that move. Moving on to the top 12 then. You see cars kind of running wide on the exit there, getting their wheels on the grass, and you do risk getting a puncher if you do that. So I do try and avoid doing that. And you see the guy had made a bit of a mistake on the exit. We're going to set him up to overtake him on the exit, the final corner. He defends quite well, but he goes into the pits, does he? No, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, oh my God, I remember that. He was good at, he just tried to defend, slowed down, and then made contact with me on the exit, and holy moly, I thought we were going around there. I do remember that in the heat of the moment. I just let off the throttle, turned into the slide very, very quickly, and just didn't even think about it. Just one of those natural reactions, and just managed to save it. I think we picked up a couple of seconds of damage weirdly from that, but it wouldn't cost us any lap time. That Porsche goes wide. I think he might have got knocked wide, and on the exit makes contact with the Bentley, so we're looking good to make another move here. On the exit of Graham Hill Bend, we get a lovely drive out of there. Do just graze the grass on the exit, but we're on the inside to the Bentley. He tries to defend it by going really deep. He's on the marbles, and he goes wide, and it's another position. So that's P11 now. And next up is the top 10. And I'm pretty sure we still had like another 15 minutes of our stint to go. The stint was half an hour long, because it's an hour race. And yeah, I couldn't believe the progress we were making, to be honest. No, not that it's not critical that we do extremely well in this championship. We sort of, from our point of view, we do a championship like this for two reasons: fun, and the second reason being like experience, to gain a bit of experience on the game. I've not done too much of Assetto Competizione since the V1.8 update, so doing a league and a race like this just gives you such an insight as to what it's like. See there, 3 cars box, so that was the first lap where the pit window opened, and we're up to 7th behind Jardier now, looking for the top 6. Now, the clickbaity thing about this video, right, is yes, we did overtake 29 cars in 30 minutes. However, some of those overtakes were in the pits, so I apologise for that, alright? I had to milk it. I'm sorry. So up the inside of this Porsche, I think we might be lapping that Porsche, so we let us go. So now, with a few more cars, I think there was a car from the gravel actually, so I think that's where we gained that position. Top 5. We are 5th or 4th, I can't remember, but we end up in 4th at the end of our stint, and that is the 29 cars overtaken, in the 30 minutes. So 33 cars, we started 33rd, ended up in 4th, and strangely only ended up about 4 seconds off the lead, or 5 seconds off the lead, Malinowski in the Mercedes. So just unreal, and another back marker then in the McLaren going into the final corner. And we tried to stay out as long as possible with the strategy. So we wanted to kind of optimise the overcut. The tyres were in a lovely pressure window. The car felt great. We had great pace. The tyres weren't really wearing too much, and I don't think we could change tyres at the pit stop anyway. So we thought, stuff it. We'll just go as long as possible while others box. Their tyres will cool down, the pressures will drop, and they'll spend a little bit of time getting those back up to temp and pressure, losing lap time in the process. So Jardier in front, we're in a Veloce car, he's in a Yassi car. Didn't really want to send it like we had been with other drivers, because if we make contact, then yeah, it doesn't look too great. Veloce and Yassi obviously partnered teams or customer teams, so yeah, we're sort of the same team even though we're not. And I mean, I have taken out Jardier in a Yassi car before. I don't know if you guys remember at Nürburgring in SRO Endurance last year, so don't want to be doing that again. But On the final lap of the window, we do box, and right up underneath Jardier, we do have a 5-second penalty at the pit stop, remember. I handed over to Murphy with no new tyres, so we had old tyres, and unfortunately when we came out the pits there was a bit of an incident and we did kind of fall back a little bit. And overall, we do end up finishing 9th, which to be honest is very disappointing. I thought, you know, 33rd to 4th. So when you take the pit stops into account and the 5-second penalty, I think we came out the pits in 8th and we were only like 10 seconds off the lead. So I think, honestly, we could and should have got a podium. Just didn't work out that way. But, I mean, from where we were on the grid, it showed there was a lot of pace in the car. And, oh my God, that was like the funnest race I've done on any game in a very long time. So I'm glad we crashed in race 1 because it led to that amazing race 2. And if you did enjoy it yourself, give it a thumbs up, sub to the channel. And there's another race similar to this I'm going to upload very soon, and it's wet, so look forward to that. Thank you as always for watching one of my videos, really appreciate it, and until the next video, I'll see you soon.